Who are the best double game week assets to go for? Should we have triple Aston Villa? Who are the best Aston Villa assets to go for? Which manager should we actually be going for as well? Guys, Game Week 25 around the corner. This is Fancy Football G. We're going to be answering all those questions, taking a look at should you also go for any Bournemouth assets, which Bournemouth assets should you go for as well, and my punt for the week, which might just put you guys ahead because nobody else is looking at him. Let's get into it. All right, guys. Welcome and let's jump straight into it. Aston Villa. Let's start off with the first important question. Should you have triple Villa? Look, it's plain and simple. If you can, go for it. Because in the end of the day, it's always going to be team dependent, right? People will be asking, cool, fine, then Cat, should I be taking a hit for it? Well, here's who I would take a hit for. A fit and available Ollie Watkins, I would be taking a hit for. Reason being, he's also on penalties. He's the forefront man as well. I think he's definitely going to be the one that's going to be scoring goals in that actual game that is Ipswich. And so I think when you look at it as in like, cool, he's playing Liverpool, he's also playing Ipswich. Ipswich is the game where you're looking to gain those points from, very so much the same as the way Everton had that game against Leicester. And then they have the game against Liverpool, which is going to be coming up as well. That's why you're going for these players, because they got a game in which is a real banker in which they can really go out and get a whole lot of points from, and then you're sort of hoping that they can get some more extra points from the actual Liverpool game. And let's be honest, with Aston Villa's squad, we all know that they actually really can, and the beauty of this as well is the fact that they're also playing at home. Now, Cat, should I be going for Ollie Watkins? The big question. Guys, it's plain and simple. It's all about availability. How do you do it? You have to wait until you get the word. Excuse me. You have to wait until you get the word. The word being on the final day after press conferences. Hear what Unai Emery says. If you feel that he actually has given you good enough information that Ollie Watson's going to play, then I honestly, without a doubt, I go for it. Now, I think the next question that comes into your mind is like, okay, cool, fine. I know I should take a hit for him, and I know I should definitely go for him based on availability, and it's a transfer you have to make at the very end once you've got that information. But it's like, who do I take out for him? And the main person that everybody's looking at, because Ollie Watkins' price is very high, is Isak. Do I take out Isak, Cat? Is that something I can really do? Look, in my opinion, I look at Isak's fixtures and they look really tough, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm not saying that he's fixture proof. But what I am saying is we all know that form for me at this point in time really beats fixtures. And so I wouldn't say Isak is necessarily in the best of best forms because of the previous two games in the Premier League that they faced as well. He wasn't all out that right, necessarily scoring goals like he was in the previous 5 to 7 fixtures. So I think, look, with the opportunity that you have presented, I would take out Ollie Watkins just because of the potential in these next two games. Ollie Watkins, straight after this double game week, plays Chelsea at home. And that's 3 home fixtures in a row, guys. In a row. He's had a rest as well, of course, because, he's injured and stuff like that. But I think he's going to be well and this is just my opinion. I think he's going to be well and available. And I think it makes sense for you to actually take out Isak and put in Ollie Watkins. And that also goes to the fact that, yes, fine, they're both going to be blanking in 29. Well, it's not confirmed yet for Isak, but I think it's most likely going to be that case because they have gone through in the actual FA Cup, and Crystal Palace is going to be playing, most likely. Some of you will be watching this as well. But the mere fact that one of them, Crystal Palace and Newcastle, have already gone through to the next round, I think Newcastle's going to go deep into that FA Cup as well. So I think Newcastle's definitely going to blank, and that's another reason for you to actually take him out, because do you really want him to go up all against those players, all of those fixtures, and also blank in 29? I don't think so. I think with Ollie Watkins, you can bring him in and not feel like you have to take him out even in game week 26, especially if he's firing as well in all of these home games as well. So for me, that's really my answer to it. Now, who are the ultimate Aston Villa 3? I think that it's definitely a Morgan Rogers, number 1. Right? Because he's so affordable. He's so affordable, more affordable than the Asensio and even Marcus Rashford, who has come in. Now, Mullen seems to be the number 9 pick, considering the substitution that was made in the previous game against Wolves, when Wally Watkins was substituted out and Mullen came in. And it did seem that he came and played in that number 9 role as well, but he was really all around that front line as well. But we all know that Rodgers is a 90-minute man. He's always down the center as well, and always in that play as well. So when it comes to a number 2, I think Ollie Watkins, of course, depending on actual availability, and that's the only reason why he's number 2. If he was available and we knew this, I'd say he's number 1. Number 3, right? Player number 3, because the number 3 for me is and will always be an Unai Emery. A lot of us have activated our chips, and I think that the best third actual asset from Aston Villa is actually your assistant manager. I think there is nobody else in terms of a player who's way above that. I just don't feel like the defense is good enough. Anybody in the defense, because if you look at Aston Villa's defensive numbers, these guys have been conceding nearly every game. I think they've only had 1 or 2 clean sheets the entire season. That in itself should tell you they're definitely going to concede. Okay, now if it has to be a player, if it really, really has to be a player, this is where I would take a chance and actually put in Mullen. Reason being is he will definitely play. His minutes might be low, but he will definitely play. He will definitely come in. You don't have to worry about a clean sheet wipeout. He's definitely going to play. You can go for a Tielemans, but I just don't feel like he has the attacking potential and point ceiling that Mullen has when he does come in and also assist or possibly even score. So that's my verdict when it comes to the Aston Villa guys. Honestly, I think those are the best assets when it comes to Aston Villa. Now, before we jump onto Bournemouth, guys, I want to say please hit that like button and also subscribe. I'm here every week giving you guys content that you need to help you with your team decisions in FPL, and it would really go a long way in supporting the channel. So really, really, really would appreciate that. And thank you so much to everybody else who has subscribed and helping me grow the channel as well. The more, the better. And then maybe I can start doing memberships for you guys. So let's get on to Bournemouth, who I think is the next big questions there. As in like, all right, sorry, not Bournemouth, the assistant managers. The assistant managers, who should we be going for? Now, firstly, let's start with everybody who already has the chip activated, right? A lot of you guys had already triple Liverpool, and so you then by default went for Moyes. Should you be going on to Unai Emery? Absolutely. I don't even think about it, guys. And I'll put it to you this plain and simple, right? Each and every single week, you have a single game week, right? If you wanted to get that table bonus as well, don't you think it would be nice if you got that table bonus as an extra fixture? So you already got your banker fixture against Ipswich. Now, you also have a table bonus fixture. Yeah, I know. It sucks that it's against Liverpool, but at least you also have a competent team that you're also picking. I think that Aston Villa is competent enough at home to create an upset against Liverpool. That's my belief. And an upset for me is honestly as far as even a draw. Because even with a draw, you can actually get more points on a manager that actually wins against, like, for example, Arteta. You could actually get more than Arteta would in a 4-0 win at Leicester. Unai Emery drawing against Liverpool. So I think it's a no-brainer, go for Unai Emery. It sucks that it's against Arne Slot. But at the end of the day, whether it's against Arne Slot or not, 5 places above is always going to be tough. Picking the underdog is always going to be tough, especially when they're 5 places below. Whether you're taking an Almiron and then you're playing up against a Chelsea, or you're playing up against a Newcastle, that's still tough. That is still tough, So yeah, I think if you're Moyes, definitely move on to Emery because you got that extra fixture and the main fixture is a banker anyway. Now, if you're on Arne Slot, I think it depends on what you're really going for. Now, there's the chasers right now, and there's the people who want to maintain their rank. I think if you want to maintain your rank, stick with Slot because the general public already, of course, thinks that Slot is going to win both games. So, we feel like those games are bankers, of course, because Liverpool's in form and they're the best team right now currently in the league. Now, if you're chasing, go with the chance of Unai Emery. He's cheaper, of course, than Slot. If you're already on Slot, you can downgrade, which is nice, open up some cash. If you're chasing, go with Unai Emery. That's honestly the best. But I think there is another case for if you're chasing, continue to stay on Slot, and possibly the next game week 26, you might have a chance to be in a position where you go Pep Guardiola, who could potentially, depending on results in this game week, be 5 places below Liverpool when they play them. And they will be playing at home as well against Liverpool. And I think, again, if you're going to pick a competent team that can beat Liverpool, has the chances of beating Liverpool, it is a Pep Guardiola with their Man City. Yes, not the best of Man Cities, we know. But it's a Pep Guardiola with the Man City at home against the Liverpool on a Slot. If that's not a given chance for you to just really gain those extra points, I don't know what is. But that's another avenue for a chaser. You could stay on Slot, and in game week 26, again, there's the chance that Pep Guardiola and results go their way and they're not 6 places above. But then again, you can still stay on Slot in that case as well in game week 26. So that's my verdict there when it comes to the managers. I wouldn't necessarily go for anybody else below this, whether it's Arteta, Hertzler. I think play the double game weeks. It only makes sense. And if you're activating your wild card your assistant manager as well, then of course go with what I said. It depends if you're chasing, and if you're actually trying to maintain your rank, then go with exactly what I said as well. So now let's take a look at Bournemouth and the main question. Kat, who are the top 3, right? It's simple, guys. The top 3 are those midfield guys. Now, it really sucks because they're all in the midfield, all right? Now, let's do the verses, okay? I think it's very obvious, depending on your team and budget. You're going to go for Dango or Ouattara if you don't have that much money, and sure, that's very obvious. I think if you have the money, again, it's very obvious, go for Clifford, all right? Because he's on penalties. You know this, all right? He's on penalties. They're causing trouble, getting fouls, and he's also going to slot them away. There's no doubt about it. Now, there's the low extreme and the high extreme as well. Semenyo in the middle doesn't seem to be the one who's gone for a lot, but you have to remember that he's the one that's really taking all the shots and the chances. They're not necessarily high quality of chances. Clifford and Ouattara seem to have higher quality of chances, but with Clifford as well, you got to consider these are all like penalty type of chances as well, whereas Semenyo's cutting in and he's getting onto that ball as well. So with defenders in front of him and awkward angles as well, and Ouattara's actually the number 9 as well. So you have to take all of those things into perspective, okay? Now, differential, Dango Ouattara is also the better pick over there. Should you go for triple Bournemouth in terms of them being all 3 in the midfield? I think there's assets like Salah, Palmer, and then you also want to fit in Mbeumo there as well. So you most likely don't necessarily want to have three assets there from Bournemouth. I think just go for two. The top two for me would be a Clifford and Ouattara Dango, because Dango's the number 9. He's also cheap as well. He's an enabler. You can keep him in there for as long as, of course, he's around. And then Clivert's on penalties. That's simple. Semenyo for me falls as number 3. Really only because of positioning and of course money. He's in the middle there, so it's either you have the money to go for the best with the penalties, or you don't have the money and you just go for the cheaper guy who's literally playing up there in the number 9 role. When it comes to defense, again, I do not want to butcher his name, but Huijsen versus Kerkez. I think Huijsen for me, Kerkez is looking really good running up and down the flanks, but you also want somebody. Huijsen himself gets up the pitch as well and is very highly involved, but I think you also want somebody who's going to be a threat at set pieces, and I feel like that's Huijsen right there. He's definitely a threat, and you can see he's predicted to be higher, but then Kerkez, who's not here currently. So yeah, it really depends on you. But when it comes to Bournemouth, I feel like that's basically what it is. I would have a defender, and then I would have a Clifford, and I'd have a Dango as well. Yeah, that would be my verdict when it comes to them. Now, my player Punt of the week. All right, to help you get ahead of everybody who's not looking at this player or notices this player is, I've mentioned him before, in Ethan Nwaneri. Played in the Champions League, came on and scored a beautiful goal. In the next game, in the very same week, came on against Man City and scored the very same replica goal off the left, cutting in somewhat of a Saka Messi-like, beat one player, shimmy to the left, hit it into that bottom right-hand corner. I think this player, considering that Martinelli is also injured, Saka is also injured, Martinelli's going to be out for at least a month, I think Ethan Nwaneri is going to be starting ahead of a Sterling, who could possibly, of course, be starting on that right flank. But I think we both know that with Ethan Nwaneri's goal scoring ability, his technical ability as well, and the performances that he has been putting in starting, he's done way better than Sterling, who hasn't scored. I think he's probably scored once in his 10 appearances, but Ethan Nwaneri's already scored twice. Do you know what I mean? And that's in these last 5 appearances. So Ethan Nwaneri, I think, is definitely going to be starting on that right flank. And I think he's going to be a great enabler at 4.5 million. So if you're looking to really make some space, I think he's a great enabler, better even than Dango Ouattara. If you're looking to bring in a Clifford and have some money as well, he's definitely going to be playing against Leicester and also West Ham. So it's also a great time to really bring him in as well. He'll definitely play those 2 games. He'll be playing, in fact, the whole of February because, again, like I said, Martinelli's going to be out. So yeah, that's my verdict right there, guys. You heard it here first. Don't be surprised if he starts scoring and you're like, damn, Kat did mention this, Ethan Nwaneri as well. So yeah, honestly going to be great to see him. So that's it from me, guys. Really appreciate it. Please hit that like button, and most importantly, subscribe. Really would appreciate the support from you guys. And if there is more content that you're looking for, then check out my team transfer plans over here and some more content for you over there. I'll return back for my team selection for the week as well. And I'll see you guys. Peace.